What's up, dude?
What's going on?
So, another episode. This is going to be a random guy. We don't have a direction for this one. So, we do want to highlight a couple of things. Most
Yeah.
important thing, I'd say, is
World
Zach.
record. Yeah, for sure, dude. He smoked it. Pounded. What
Yeah,
is it, a 573?
573, beat it by a point.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, I don't know if I've ever shot that good in practice even.
I
He's
can't,
just a great shot.
I can't get my head wrapped around the pressure of doing that. And then,
So, go ahead.
like, running, as you're nearing that round, right? Especially towards the end of that, even each half, staying mentally. I mean, kudos to that. That's huge to do
Sure.
that
Oh,
and
dude,
keep your mind in it to what you're getting ready to do and maintaining strong shots. And we talked a little bit to Grayson about that when he shot his, national record on. That's just crazy to keep that mindset. So that's
yeah, dude. He freaking pounded, man. And that was a new shoot for this year, right? Or no?
yeah.
So I've never even heard of it, actually. I thought it was, I didn't know what the heck it was,
So
but I
that's
seen it was in
indoor,
Chicago.
indoor World Series, and then so it's here's the Chicago Open, and that's the first time Baribeau's been in it or something like that. So it was,
Okay.
so it's
Yeah, I wasn't
and
really sure.
and it was super cool because it's not like a at a slightly obscure, like a star feed event somewhere at a club.
Yeah, it's
It's
a big
a
tournament.
big tournament, so
Yeah.
it's even better. So
Yeah, he shot really well, and Joel shot well too, huh?
yeah. I don't
He shot
his
like a 557 or four. I'm
four I
terrible with
think.
scores, but
Yeah, I
he
think
shot really
so.
well.
Yep.
There's a bunch of good scores there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I
the guys.
wasn't able to really follow it. I was pretty hung up at work, but
Yeah,
I'm terrible. I
I
haven't
was.
even got a chance to look. I
Yeah,
know.
realize it happened until I
Yeah,
had my phone vibrated on like a message, and I looked down and clicked Instagram, and boom, it was right there. And I was like, "Holy smokes,
man, and
got it!"
I think Davenport shot really well too. Was that for NFAA?
No,
I don't even stinking
no, the
know. I'm terrible.
NFAA run this weekend, right? So
Okay, let me read this off real fast. So Zach shot a 573,
for
Joel 553, Brian 551, Luke Thornsbury 544, and Nick Way at a 540, and that's all I can see on here.
yep, and
So
that
there's
was
some
for the
good shooting there, man.
that's for the Indoor World Series,
Yep.
Chicago Open. Yep, and then which was Friday, and then we rolled into Saturday, or they rolled into Saturday, Sunday NFAA Indoor Nationals, which we put up on the Instagram deal. Nick won. Congrats to Nick. Man, I was following it for a while, and today this is Sunday, and man, it's a hell of a race at the end. The men's and women's, they were just a couple points back and forth and just going. And we've all been there on the bail one, bail two, and everybody's seen what everybody's shooting, and you're just going to the end. And it's a pressure cooker, and it's cool stuff. So congrats to Nick, and I think Johanna won women's, right?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I was sitting here looking at Davenport's USA Archery Indoor Nationals. He shot a 269 and a 263,
Okay,
532. He shot really well. That's with a longbow.
longbow. Yep. So he got it, and
I think
yep.
that's some kind of record, actually.
I'm not sure. I'd have to check because I know, man, for some reason I feel like Demmer or Timmy's got it. I think one of those two guys has got it for NFAA.
Yeah, we should definitely start doing some research.
Yeah,
Well,
somebody
either
to
way,
check
a
us.
bunch of
Either
good
way,
shooting went on over the
yep,
past week and a half or so, and so good job, all them fellas.
yep,
So,
yep.
and really kind of to switch gears just a touch, I wanted to. So I fiddled around like with some weight here and there on the bow, like above the grip, below the grip,
Yeah.
different point weights, because I'm shooting that other riser right now. I'm shooting that 27-inch GMX
Mm-hmm.
and some long Axia foams, and they're actually marked as 34 pounds, but I got them wound all the way out and at my draw length, they're like 39 pounds. So I don't know.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I don't have anywhere to go. You know what I mean? Like I can only go up from there.
Oh, wound out. They're 39.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's on my scale. I got like a last chance varsity scale. It's a pretty good scale.
Yeah.
But so either way, so I was shooting the fat arrows with it for a bit, fiddling around, and we had this tournament over here, a local one come up, and I conned Jeremiah to go in. I told him it was a Vegas face tournament and it was a NFA tournament. and so anyway, we went up there and shot, but I ordered arrows. Hold on, I got to jump backwards. So last weekend, I may have already said this on here, but I ended up ordering some of those Sonics because I shot guys in a 600.
We talked about that.
Okay.
Yep.
So I ended up ordering them. Well, they didn't come in till stinking Friday, and we had that shoot on Saturday. I got them Friday night. I think I fletched up like 3 of them, didn't shoot them. So the morning, Saturday morning, I got up, fletched several more, and I went outside. Jeremiah showed up here early at my house, and so did Guy. So we was outside shooting. I was trying to get it set up, and because it was a local deal, and I was really just trying to see if I could. I like those arrows, and not that that ain't the only reason I was trying them. It's because maybe my vision sucks. I'm not really sure, but on the fat arrow, I do have a hard time like centering it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was getting these like dropouts at the bottom, and I attributed that to just being on a weak shot. But I don't know, man. It's hard to tell for me. But honestly, my bad shots are not really left and right; they're up and down. So should be an easy fix, but it is not for me for some reason.
Right.
But so I get those arrows set up. I shot maybe 20, 25 times before we went to the tournament, showed up to the tournament. And I shot fair. My score was way better than I expected, to be honest with you, because it didn't feel like I shot that well. And Jeremiah was freaking pounding.
Yeah.
Of course, he's shooting those X-23s, so you can hear him smacking, and he's just pounding them. I think I'm pretty positive everyone that was out of the 5 for him was a bounce out. Almost positive.
Really?
I think he would have cleaned that round for sure. Dude, he was, I don't know, he shot like mid-30s on X's or something.
He might need to switch to a 5 spot then if he's going to shoot those.
I think he should for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was local deal. We was just trying to get some tournament pressure, at least for me and him to kind of fight against each other a bit. And Guy shot pretty well too. He'll probably cuss at me if I mention his score, so I'm not going to right now. But he's gathering it up though, because man, he had moments where it was just pounding him like 4X's, 5X's.
He's just an aha moment away from figuring.
Yeah, he's just a super duper close to making it really work well. Yep. And I do think those arrows help, but so they didn't have the standard ones, so I ended up ordering the match grade ones, which I didn't really want to do. But man, everything fits in those arrows, the components so well. I was super happy with that.
Yeah. So
we shot the tournament. I shot a 289. Jeremiah won with a 91.
Okay.
A 291. So he shot really good.
Blue.
Like I said, yes. And he would have absolutely cleaned it. Because his 4s were like, the arrow was obviously at an angle, so I know I'm pointing like people should be able to see that. I know nobody watches this, but so anyway, he shot really well. And we've never shot at that club over there, like in the past several years. So it was kind of cool because most people hadn't seen like barebow shooters really show up to an event over here. And man, I bet we had like 12 maybe or 13. I don't know. There's quite a few. There's a lot of barebows on the rack, Right. So that was super cool.
Yeah, that's good.
And anyway, so we did all that and everything, and it was a good shoot. Went back home. We started tuning my arrows a bit to try to get them set up. I had Jeremiah and Guy watching, and we was doing a little bit of tuning and stuff. And man, I ended up 39 pounds, and I just checked it again earlier, but I'm at 39 pounds. I cut a 1/4 inch off of those arrows, and I'm at 100 grain point, which sounds like it's not enough point weight for a 500 spine for me typically, because I'm normally like $150, something like that,
Okay.
But man, I got them to shoot. Like we shot between the target lines,
Yeah.
and bare shaft and fletch shaft were just. I'm talking
Pounding.
like bare shaft was an inch weak, so I just left it. I fletched with 3.5 inch those Ozark short feathers, like
Yep.
low whatever.
Yep.
So got all that stuff done, but I'm gonna backtrack one more time. So I got the arrows set up really well. I was super happy. Yeah, I'm terrible. But as far as the weight goes on the
Yeah.
bow, up and down,
Yep.
I started playing with that like 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
Yep, 2 weeks ago. And man, I really got a good feel for the difference in weight above and below. So I started moving stuff around and like scoring the differences on them too.
Yeah.
I mean, me and you talked, but so that a lot of my issue, I think, is that I don't, I don't know if it's grip pressure or if it's like my anchor because I feel like I'm still floating just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I put weight on top, and I would absolutely end up hitting like high nine super consistently, which was okay.
Yeah.
And then I shot like a full round, same crawl, and I just shot the group. You know what I mean? It was like high 9-8 line, and I had a couple sevens, but it was because I was just letting it hit my normal crawl.
Yep.
So, and then I took the weight off the top, moved some more down to the bottom. So I ended up doing a 30 Hoyt weight on the stabilizer bushing, and then a 20 on the bottom lower limb, and then like 8 ounces on the top.
I think it's so heavy.
I know, but dude, the bow doesn't feel like that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I noticed. I've been playing with the top weights for a while now.
Changes the way it sits in your hand. Like
yeah,
it was so weird
yeah,
that
you
I was
can.
getting those highs and lows from weight changing, and
Yeah,
the hold was totally different. I
yeah,
feel like it was super sporadic with less center mass weight and more top and bottom weight. I feel like
yeah,
my aim was real sporadic, but they hit. Like they grouped really
yeah,
well. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm
I
kind of
find, yeah,
torn.
I find if you do, what say you do 40 ounces all bottom weight, and then and it holds. However, if you do 40 ounces total, but now you have it spread out, say you put
Yeah.
8 of it or 10 of it up top, and then you've
Mm-hmm.
got 30 down. To me, it feels lighter.
It does for sure.
It feels lighter. It'll hold better, and it reacts better because it's not such an like a out down.
Yeah.
It's you can kind of get more of an out, and then I really like an out with a top back, and and um I know the new Gilo stuff is kind of designed for an out and top back reaction.
Yeah. Oliver
Um,
talked about that a bit. And I
yep,
think
and
from Matt's podcast.
yep, I talked to Vittorio at Lancaster about that. Because you get the tunnels and stuff like that, and I dabbled, and it's the same way with Sid and Border. The Tempest is designed. The Tempest geometry is a lot like the Gilo stuff with the grip up, a longer bottom. The Tempest has a ton of deflex. I think it's pretty much got the most deflex of any riser. And Sid is a big thing, especially with the rule set where you're allowed weights above the grip now. Sid's a big thing with putting those weights at the ends of the riser, and you can get if people play with that, they can get really good reactions, and they can get a good float. They can get a steady float with the same amount of weight potentially, or more weight that feels lighter. But it's one of those things where you gotta play with it to see how it reacts for you, and then maybe you got to throw some scores around, and then if you get moving, like if you got a shit ton of weight down the bottom and then you put a bunch of weight up top, you probably ought to double check it with a bare shaft and see, because you get like the moment of inertia and stuff like that with the way the limbs close. It just changes stuff. You got to check it. So if you are shooting bottom heavy bow, everything down, and then you throw a bunch of weight up top and you shoot a score round, and and you're like, this is averaging 5 points better the old way. Well, double check your tune. Maybe you don't have a good bare shaft because your knock height's different or something like that. Maybe you got to do some different things with that. And then short of then also with that, you can get outside of tuning. So like tiller, you can adjust tiller to assist you on a hold, right? You know, but you need to what?
I'm sorry. Look at my name.
I see it.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Yes, I am.
So you can do tiller, right? And if for a bit on that GMX for me, my hold I'd have a slight bob up and down. It wasn't bad. I made it work. But for field, and I never messed with it because messing with the tiller kind of changed my tune. I didn't like it, so I just dealt with the bob. Right, and then when I rolled indoors, I didn't have to worry about all the range of crawls, and I could set my tiller to assist my aim, and it didn't affect my tune. Right, so you can adjust your tiller, and it will negatively affect your tune more than it helps your aim, and it's not worth doing. So people need to play with that, right? But for indoor, it's fixed distance is pretty easy. So you do that as well with your weights, and you could really get a good if you're good example is messing with some of these drills and stuff like I'm doing, and I get stuck high, with triggerless shooting, and if I give it some positive tiller, it doesn't hurt my tune any, but it just kind of forces the bow to kind of naturally want to hold down, and it helps. It absolutely helps. And that's something people can play with. If you're stuck a little low, you can give us some negative tiller and let that bow just kind of rock up a little bit and maybe help you. I don't like doing
It makes
that.
a difference.
It makes
sure.
a big difference. And I don't like doing that though if it messes the tune, because I'm big on for like a forgiving tune. But a lot of times for 18-meter shooting, it doesn't matter. And then the other thing, right? And we'll go ahead and probably roll into this is mass weight. So you've got mass weight, right? And that's going to hold steady on on your aim, right? Your aim's going to be super steady with the mass weight. But what'll happen is your float is going to be slow.
Yep.
And then that could create problems because if you have a super slow float, your mind, depending on the type of person, right? Some people don't have any issue with this and they don't even, they don't agree with me on my little theory on this, but for me, I tested this for scoring and everything. And just the other week or last week here, I can run 40 ounces on my bow and it aim really good, but my float's real slow and it'll float off. And when it floats out, I freak out.
Yeah, it's hard to bring back too sometimes.
Yeah, it's really hard. And mentally, it's if I take a shit ton of weight off my bow, just like put 20 ounces total on it, the float's super fast and it's got and I've talked to Joel about this also. It's, fast rate of return, right? And if your bow is always coming back to center quick, you can take your mind off that aim more and focus on the shot because your mind just brings it back, and I was testing this week with those being stuck high. And when I lightened the mass weight up and I was stuck high, if I would just hold and focus on a good long hold and strong and just running a clean shot, generally I would hit really good. And I believe it's because my subconscious would last second, right, split second, would just kind of move that down to the center. And, because the light mass weight enabled it. And the second I put heavy mass weight on, it would no longer do that, And I tested this a lot back in 22 on my World Games run. I was playing with some different weights. And if I added like 4 ounces, my scores just tanked. It was like crazy. It's like, and I'd make little tuning adjustments if I needed to. And it's just, I was kind of jumpy then. And my mind just, if I could speed that float up and get that thing just kind of bouncing all over the place. But on the center, my mind was more at ease and I could just, try to run a clean shot. That's what I find. You have 58 ounces on the bow. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
My triggered shooting, I do.
No, I got more than that because I got tungsten on behind the grip too, for like 16 ounces.
Oh my God.
I don't do that. I'm not.
Yeah, that holds steady, don't it? With my and some people, and if they can handle the weight, right, and draw weight, right. If you're holding drawing like 30 pounds and you've got like an 8-pound, right, that's going to be weird feeling. It's going to be real heavy. If you're drawing, whatever 40 42 pounds and you got a heavy bow, it feels lighter just because the draw weight offsets it. And then I don't know, for my triggered shooting, I prefer heavier because I'm just holding right on the center, right? And I just kind of let it go and run my triggered shot. So I'm 180 out, if I lighten it up. And then obviously I'm not better with the lighter weight triggerless. It's just, it aids my target panic. So maybe if somebody's jumpy, play with some lighter mass weight and, get that faster rate of return on your aim, and you might be less jumpy. You could try it anyways.
Yeah. It was just Davenport just texted me and said, how come none of the guys from the Northeast come to Vegas? I was like, I don't know.
Because it costs a lot of money.
Dude, it costs a lot of money for us to get to Lancaster, too.
Yeah, for a few of you to come to Lancaster, the rest of us can just drive.
What?
Yeah.
No, not for a few.
Hey, you know what?
A ton of us.
You know what?
Now we're going to
Oliver's talking about this because you brought up Vegas. I like the way he looks at Lancaster
gives
to
you
Vegas.
An excuse.
Nope. I like the way he looks at Lancaster to Vegas. I like his outlook on.
You can't know it until you go, though.
You sit left. You're not centered in your frame. Better for people watch this. Okay.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you got to be a little bit more presentable.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like the way Oliver talks about Vegas, where it's just there's no finals, right?
Yeah, no, and I don't disagree with that at all. I feel like
that's a real good point he makes on that.
Yeah, and I wish Vegas would do that. I mean, they will do a shoot off if you're tied, like they did last year, but it would be sweet.
The format would have to change because I mean, there's not going to be too many ties in Barebow. Right. Not like that.
No.
Not like the compound guys do. So I don't know what they could do different or that they would, if it would even make sense for them. But
yeah, definitely. They probably
that's definitely a good, when I heard him talk about that, I was like, that's a great point. He makes a great point on that.
He does.
So that's an interesting thing just because he brought Vegas up. And that's in 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah. Beginning of March.
Okay.
It'll be fine. I'm sure there's a lot of, dude, I think there's more people that go to Vegas than there is Lancaster.
Oh, with all the flights and stuff, yeah, probably. Yeah, you can be like whatever flight.
No.
And when first a flight and get money if people are
if the Northeast guys would come.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about you. You're in the Midwest. I mean, you really have no excuse at all except for you're going to China this year. If you weren't going to China, just tell me you're going to go to Vegas.
No, dude. And actually, when we got home from Lancaster, we were like, maybe we'll go to Vegas. And we looked everything up. And then we got sick for a week. And then it gets into like my wife's PTO.
Oh, yeah, vacation.
And it kind of gets to be like it's not a money thing. It gets to be like a time thing. It just doesn't work out.
And it is. But I will say this. Like, it's way better for us now to go to both of them because they're not the next weekend. But I know for the people out of
international,
country,
it's going to hurt numbers on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know Fisher, when he comes back, he'll probably have to pick one or the other. Which really sucks.
Yeah,
Giuseppe, it's a super expensive trip for them guys.
Giuseppe was there last year. I wonder if he's going to come back for it. I haven't looked at the registrations on it. Probably need to do that. But so your tune today, solid. So you're going to run it for a bit.
Yeah, I'm super happy. I just shot earlier.
The Vegas tune. Okay.
I probably shot 40 or 50 arrows earlier. I just had my wife in there telling me I suck, and I was in there shooting, and I think I come out of the gold 4 times. One of them was a 7, and it's high, But
yeah,
but I shot a lot of 10s. I was super happy with that. So it's like I can make small manipulations now, like with my plunger, even to get things to move one way or the other. You know what I mean? So it actually seems like
you're running JD3 grip.
Yeah, and I'm not sold on it.
Do you have a medium? You can try medium wrist, like a higher wrist grip.
It is medium.
No, his is slightly lower than medium.
Is it?
I think.
No, I only have the factory Hoyt grip. I don't have that.
You don't have any.
I'll have to look. I probably got 30 grips out there.
Well, I wonder. Try like a higher wrist. Even if you had a high wrist, just for sake of testing, throw like a higher wrist on there and see if you can get rid of that.
Oh, the up and down. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that may be right. I'll fiddle with that a little bit because I've got some I've got the Hoyt Low, which is still more higher than the JD3 grip, I think.
Yeah, if they're whatever
Oh
Hoyt.
crap! I'll just throw one in there and try it. I can putty one up or something. I don't care.
Yeah, even if whatever. I thought you had a bunch of R-cores too for Hoyt.
I do. I don't know. I don't know what I've got. Most of those are lows or extra lows.
Yeah, I'd throw like a medium or high wrist on there. I think Demers is slightly lower than the medium.
I think you're
Medium's
probably right.
38. For some reason,
Okay.
I thought Demers was like I don't know. I have one, but to me, it's lower than a medium, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100%
Yeah.
on that. It's lower than Master, Factory Master, and a Factory Master
It
is
seems like there's a lot
38.
more. Yeah, a lot more grips coming up too. Like I don't remember. I think Oliver's working with R-Core on one maybe, and then
Isn't Raymond
I don't
doing
know.
something with Jaeger?
I think so.
I
I'm not
thought I
really
heard
sure.
something about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I like the R-Core. The Master is an amazing grip, but I have to modify it. It's sloped pretty hard, and
Yeah.
I make mine really not completely flat, but a lot more flat, and then I give myself a little bit more clearance up for my knuckle. And like on the Hoyt version, I got some putty up in the throat of it on the top for like the top of your hand.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, I think I'm going to send that one back to them and have them scan it and make me another Master like that one. Because I've got another new one on my GT that I've filed and, kind of got close. And it's close, but it's not quite the same, and but I kind of want to leave it because I don't want to make it, I don't want to go too far. It's kind of good right now. But I really like the one I modified on that. And then I like his options.
Oh, for sure. And he's super quick on emailing back too, man. He's
on it.
He's a good company for sure.
Yeah, he's on it, man. He's definitely on it. And I had some crazy stuff I was doing last winter on that Tempest and stuff like that. Some requests I was doing, and he was doing some crazy whatever for me when I was playing with the Grip Seer stuff initially, and super awesome to work with. And he gets them out quick. Yeah,
it's like 5 day shipping, or is it less? It's maybe 3.
Yeah, dude, his turnaround's
it's
awesome.
Quick. It's super quick.
Super.
And where's it from? Greece or something like that?
Yeah, shipping's crazy. Shipping's like $30, but it is what it is.
Well, and just like the other day,
it's just what it is.
Yeah, I ordered those arrows from Lancaster Sunday night. I didn't get them till Friday.
Yeah,
just crazy to me.
I ordered a new rest to test because I wanted to play with something new on that. And I had to get it from Alternative.
Oh, and you got it from where?
Alternative,
yeah.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to get that?
Few days. I get orders from Alternative faster than Lancaster. Yeah, it's crazy. And I didn't even have I did their Royal Mail or something. I was like, it's going to take 2 weeks to get here. It was a few days and it was here. Over the weekend. Crazy. I couldn't believe it. I think I ordered on like a Thursday. I got it like Tuesday. How's that happen? And I'm digging the rest.
Sweet.
We won't go into that any more than that.
No, we'll talk about it a little bit later on.
Yeah. So I put some more time in it before I want to speak to it and say, but so far it's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. So far it's definitely something that people need to check out. We'll let it eat for a bit here and see what we got. But
yeah. Hey, I was going to mention something else also. So the guy Chris Elliott, he lives here local. He went to Lancaster. I think you met him up there. Yeah. He stayed with us in an Airbnb.
Yep.
Yep. So he, me and him got to, or I think we was back there shooting at Lancaster, and we got to talking and whatnot. And he had his rest. He has a biter. Well, he has his rest where the metal part of the rest is poking like 1/4 of an inch outside or inside the shelf of the bow or the side plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What
part? Not just the plunger tip, but the metal part.
Of his plunger.
Metal part. The actual plunger part.
Yes.
And then his plunger tips over here.
Yes.
But he was getting contact on the metal part.
Was he? So his piston, his plunger stem is compressing all the way and getting contact?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but basically I was trying to tell him, because a lot of people don't know this, and I didn't know it either, I think, until you mentioned it, but they make those different color tips for lengths. Yeah. You know what I mean? One so you can It's
Yeah.
easy to change center shot, and that makes things nice too. But the other one is I don't think it's a great idea to have the metal part hanging way out there
Mine
either.
is.
Yeah, but it shouldn't hit it. But his was hitting it. He had a light spring in there, and it wound
Yeah.
out quite a bit. But
Yeah.
either way, it just seems like I know your plunger probably shouldn't work that hard. But I was just going to mention if you're getting
Switch
contact
to
or something, just switch to a longer pin
yeah.
and run it
Run
back
your
out or something.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's worth a try because his was really bad far out, and then the black one he had was only like an eighth of an inch out of it or something. You know, I don't know. Anyway, just something for people to look
Yeah,
at.
it definitely
maybe.
sounds like the tension was. Yeah, he's just basically collapsing and then smacking. Probably
Yeah.
a few pounds off on spine.
Yeah.
He's probably crazy stiff, a few pounds, and then just banging it. Yeah.
But
Weaker
yeah, I
arrows.
just figured
Anyways.
that before I forgot.
Yep. Unless they flat spot your arrows, then you got to put a different stem in them,
Yeah.
which is the same length as the black stem of a biter. So you get locked in on that.
So so really your main tournament coming up is going to be China.
USA Indoor Nationals this coming weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play.
Where's that at?
I'm gonna shoot that in Mason, Michigan.
So where are they going to do the finals or whatever at?
Vegas.
Are you good?
No.
So if you make it, are you going to go?
No, I don't think so.
This is goofy. So I wish they would just do it back in Louisville.
Yeah.
1, they have scooters. 2, I don't feel like I'm going to get shot out there.
1, 2, 3, and 4, they have scooters. 5, it's better.
I agree.
But
whatever. Much easier to get to.
But even if they did it in Louisville, it'd still been this weekend potentially. So either way, this year it would have probably been still in Vegas, right?
Yeah,
because it's still yeah. Anyway, I've Indoor Nationals Mason this weekend coming up.
All I know is I'll go to Vegas, have a good time up there, have fun. Gonna be a lot of good shooters there too. So
yeah,
go to that, and then after that, I'll be pretty much done shooting for the most part. Other than I'm going to go to the Outdoor Nationals. It's in Springfield, so that's pretty close. Hopefully, there's a good turnout there. That'll be good. Good
you got to
timing.
do any of the other USATs?
No, just probably not.
Buckeye.
Yeah, I'm gonna take most of the summer off. Like, I'm not gonna go shoot much 3D.
No Buckeye.
I might go to Buckeye. It just kind of depends. Yeah.
Okay.
If there's a big group going to Buckeye, I'll probably go.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'd like to go to all those. Like the 50 meter stuff is super fun, but
yeah,
I don't know.
No, I'm gonna do So Indoor Nationals, then I'm switching right to field after that. I'm gonna start. I'll just go to the indoor range with field faces.
Yeah.
So we're working on a tune, and I got my notes from this fall. I'll start rolling into, and then I'm gonna shoot the GT at Indoor Nationals this weekend. I put the Axia foams on there. Man, that's a good shooting bow with those.
Oh yeah, I
like those limbs. Man, those limbs are harsh, right? They're foam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're punchy, and then you put them on that GT, and the GT's still side. It's like perfect.
Well, that's kind of like the Gilo limbs too, huh? They're a little punchy. Like they're pretty harsh too, huh?
Yeah, I like those. The 88s, they're punchy. I had 42s, man, and
I'd like to shoot those new. I'd like to fiddle around with some of those new. Are they 77s or something? They're calling them.
Yeah.
Is that right? With the teal colors.
Yep.
I heard Matt talking about it, and I googled them up, and or you talked about it too.
Yeah.
So I googled them up, looked at them. They look sweet. I kind of like that color. The color's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I know it'll draw a bunch of people off of it just because the color.
Yeah,
like the color match big time, but
and like the flat black and stuff like that's cool looking stuff like that. But Gilo, they like to kind of be a little bit different. More fun. Yeah, I think his daughter picks the colors. For the longest time, they didn't want it like a GT. They want to make an all black one, like black with black pockets. So when they did make a black riser, it had gold pockets. They just was like, just want to make it fun. So
but it's
now
cool.
You can. And I think she does the limbs like the 88s for a little bit, like 90s ski graphics, 80s, 90s ski graphics. Yeah. It's cool. But I like my 88s. I had 2 sets of 42 pounds. But man, I just all the way out on a GT. I just like 39 pounds, and it's just, which is what I'm shooting, but I don't want to shoot 39 pounds while all the way out. I'd like to shoot 39 pounds. I'd prefer it to be
somewhere in the middle, roughly.
Middle, or I'll shoot them way in too. Like these Axios are 36s, and all the way in on that GMX 3 to 25 inch, they're like 39 pounds, and that's how I shot them. I shot them all the way in, and it was
Are
great.
those 36-pound limbs or 34s?
36s.
36, yeah.
Yeah, so they're really really good on that GT, and then I got some of those ramrod weights and stuff I've been putting all over the place, and which make it.
I need to get some of those. I haven't bought any of them.
They're cool. They're cool.
They look super good.
Yeah, they're nice. I've got the tungsten powder in them, and then Sure Shot, dude. I bought a bunch of those weights from Sure Shot. That's something else people could. If you want to, I just bought the stainless ones, and they're super cheap. So people you can get on if you want to just play with weights, and you're looking at weights, and you're like, well, I want to get a bunch of options, but I don't want to put a ton of money out there. Sure Shot, you can get their 4s and their 2s and 1s, and then he's got the options where you buy the threaded rods. You get them in different lengths, buy assortment of those lengths for all your weights, so you can stack them, and you can put them all over the place, and you can mess with stuff by an ounce or two.
And buy the smaller ones, like buy the couple ounce ones, 2-ounce ones or whatever. That way you can if you want to put 8 ounces, do it. But that way you can do it in small increments rather than just having to load up 12 ounces on the back.
It's huge. Yeah, you can shoot.
I think that's good.
I can shoot. I'm playing with weight, and I can add 2 ounces to the top, and you can tell. You're like, ooh, okay. You can take that off, or you can put it here and then there, and then you can be like, ooh, okay, this seems better, and you can just kind of work it through and find a good reaction. You can't do that when you're buying 16s and 12s, and you just can't. You just get kind of locked in, and then you'd be surprised how much you can stack before you don't fit through the ring. You can get quite a bit on there. So they're like 1.25 inch diameter, I think. And I don't know, they're good looking. I like the Short Shot stuff. I'll keep.
Yeah, they definitely look good. I looked at your bow over there at Lancaster.
Yeah,
for sure.
Some of those were ramrods too. And then I had the pocket weights on that for Lancaster too, which is a pretty cool deal. Which
I don't have any other pocket weights. I need to get some.
Yeah, I don't
know if my XD pocket weights will fit.
Yeah, I don't know. I got the tungsten filled ones, the dampener. The GMX to me, it's super funny when people talk about there's always the comparisons of the Exceed to the GMX, and you hear some people talking about like the GMX is super harsh, or I'm sorry, the Exceed is harsh, which I thought so too. And then how soft the GMX is, and to me the GMX is harsh
compared to the GT.
Yeah, because I'm so used to the GT stuff, and even the Tempest wasn't that harsh to me. Right. The Tempest is a stiff riser with that bridge. I never did. I put the Axios on the Tempest here and there. I didn't really go in the weeds with it. I kind of wish I did. Part of me wishes I didn't sell that riser. Those limbs weren't for me. I didn't shoot them very well. He's got some new ones. Sid's got some CV 1.5s. Which would be even a little bit less smooth than the CV2s I had. But I just like a little bit of pulling into something. So I don't, that style limb I don't think's for me. But that Tempest was such a nice riser. That's such a nice riser. I don't think there's a nicer riser than a Border Tempest. Fit and finish and craftsmanship is perfect. Perfect.
Well, the Gillo stuff is too, man. I had that brown 29 that GT for a while.
Yep.
And man, it was the paint. Is it painted or anodized or what is it?
They're like anodized and shot blasted, I think.
Dude, that thing is like the paint did not wear off of it. And honestly, when I put my wrench in that white Hoyt I got the other day.
Yeah.
And I freaking
pulled all chipped off. Yeah.
Stinking paint off of it.
Yeah, mine's the same way. I wrapped my wrench in tape. And it still tore all the paint off that. And you seen the front of my riser from just me twisting it in my hand. It's wore down to shiny metal.
I noticed mine was too, actually.
Yep, wore down to shiny metal.
But you know what? It's constantly being rubbed on it. So, I mean, it is.
Yeah. Not like my GT.
It's a tool.
The front of the GT, I mean, I've got way more shots through my GT. And you can see some wear, but it's not as bad. It's durable finish. The GT, I like it. I like my GTs a lot. I've always liked them. And it's just, I'm I'm liking shooting it a lot, and I get a really good tune off that, and I even did last fall, which I've talked about that 100 times on this podcast now, so I probably don't need to go into that. But I get a really good
tell us again. Tell us again.
Dude, it's crazy how good of a tune I get. I can't, it's not limbs either, because I can do it with these Hoyt limbs.
Right.
I can put my Ukas on it. My Ukas aren't even that good. I have the Evo 2, the fiberglass, 50% fiberglass ones, and I get such a good tune off that riser. So whatever, but yeah, that's the latest this week. Just been shooting.
That's pretty much all I got, man. Well, I guess we'll get into the rest stuff a little bit later on too, and then
I need to get some more arrows through it and turn them in under the belt, and then I can
try to pop another one out before Vegas, or maybe even whenever I get up there, we may try to do one just remote or something.
Yeah, like to do them. I don't know. It's nice to do them once a week, but you start to run out of things to talk about without repeating, and I know people don't. I don't know. This is bullshitting. You don't want to repeat yourself.
Well, apparently that's what everybody likes. I mean, you know what? I don't really care. I do it just because we're going to have a conversation anyway.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this. Might as well record it.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it'll be. Man, how come my face freezes on there like a super weird timing?
On that picture on that side?
Never mind. Never mind. We're still on here.
Well, here, make a good face. Do it right now.
Oh, did you delete me?
No, dude. Oh, wait.
Not even here. Oh, there I am. Look at that.
Yeah.
We're idiots.
That did something, though. Anyway, that did something. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll make it and we'll have a tech guy that knows how to do this.
I've been aiming to ask Chris about doing that because he's really good at that stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's an IT guy, actually, but
really,
I'll get with him later on about it. But yeah, so we'll try to keep up. We may do a little remote one or something, even if it's like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What would be kind of cool is if I'd done a couple maybe little interviews. I don't know. Probably not. I'm terrible at that.
Yeah,
I'll ask him questions from 3 years ago.
Yeah, you can do some bullshitting just in the practice ranges or something. Put it up and we can get in there and shoot the shit.
Yeah, I'll try to post a couple videos or something of it. Or I'll send them to you so you can do it.
Anybody listening, Matt and I's talked about this for a little bit since, whatever. We're thinking about doing some maybe hats or some T-shirts or something like that. Would people prefer hats only, T-shirts only, both? Richardson 112s, is that what hat? I mean, that's pretty good.
That's what my pick would be. So that's what we would have. I think
so, right? I think that a lot of
maybe even a rope top. I like the rope top one.
Okay, and then T-shirts or long sleeve T-shirts. Would people be into that shit or not? I just don't really want to do it if nobody's gonna be into that shit. And we maybe sell them, sell them, and
what we could do is take pre-orders or something on some of it. If
Yeah.
And essentially, all it's going to be for is to pay for this program thing that we use, because I think we're the only idiots that actually pay for. Pay for this. Yeah,
this is a paid service. We whatever it is, platform we use to.
How much is that? $20 bucks a month, $30 a month.
I don't know. There's levels.
So if we sold 20 shirts and then made $1 profit off of them, then bam, there we are.
Fucking pay this damn thing. Yeah.
Oh, the shipping though would put us in the hole.
We'll probably lose money on that too.
We'll see.
But yeah, so anyways, talk about doing that. Maybe hats or something like that. Shooter shirts would be cool.
Let us know.
You start to get into thing. I don't know if we want to get into that. It'd be cool, but I don't know.
They're expensive and whatnot. And
then just trying to deal with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there's some people that we've talked about interviewing, hopefully coming up. We just got to work it out. We're super last minute on this. We're not very well organized, if you guys can't tell. So
it's not we, it's really me. I'm terrible at doing this stuff. Ryan's pretty good about getting things in order and going, except for today, he was super late. But Ryan's pretty good about doing all that. So
when we do the interviews on people, we want to make sure there's a few other people, like Zernzak. He's expert interviewer.
Dude, the best freaking interviewer there is.
Yeah, and Frank does a really good job as well.
Yeah.
You and I, we don't
We
do.
don't.
So
Very
sometimes we don't feel like we do guests justice when we get them on because, but all that being said, it's pretty nice to get into subjects. And
yeah, so if there's any subjects, we can kind of just talk about those.
If anybody, if you had feedback, is there anybody, is there something a specific person does or anybody would like to talk about and have our input on a conversation, our style of conversation with a certain individual? And there's a few people that I have in my mind on some specific things of how they approach something that's a good conversation. We talked last week about Melnick. I want to get Melnick on. I haven't even talked to him yet. I want to get him on at some point because I want to talk to him about his triggered shooting with the Lancaster pressure. And then that's a good conversation for anybody. And then there's a couple other things we want to have some people on and talk about some specific things rather than, here, introduce this person and let's go through their story. There's people already doing that and they're much better at that than we would be.
Agreed.
So I'm not, they can just, I'm not interested in, we just can't do a good job.
Yeah.
But if we want to talk about a guy and the way he maybe runs a triggered shot or non-triggered shot, or the way a guy tunes or something like that, maybe we can speak to that pretty well. So if anybody's got
just a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Because it seems like we do that too. Anything else, man?
No.
I feel like
that's all I got, dude.
I feel like I had something, but I don't. We had a comment. We said something last week on the tab thing. A guy listened to it and sent me a message that there is a tab with a shit ton of options, and I ended up looking it up and finding it. What
was that called?
It's a D-cut Barbie, Barbi.
I looked at it
or something like that.
Yeah, it's not Cordovan, but it does have a bunch of stuff on it, and it was super cheap. I mean, maybe a good option to try if you're just fiddling around.
Yeah, if somebody could do, I don't know about. Then I had a hard time figuring out where you'd buy one.
Oh,
because everything was
well, at that point, it's pretty much
like AliExpress and all these, and I'm not interested. I don't really want to, shop through something like that. So if anybody knows about that tab and has a line on where the hell you'd order it through that's safe, holler at us. So, it'd be interesting to play with one of those. It's not Cordovan though. You'd have to put some good shit on it, wouldn't you? It was a cheap tab. But
at that point, to be honest, I'm probably out. I just don't want to. There's a big difference in like wanting to try different stuff and then just wasting my time too. Now, I don't say that to be mean to the fellow who messaged that to you.
Well, right. If anybody has any more information on that tab, message Matt. He's the one looking for it. I'm just kidding. Message me too because I like gear, but
just message the podcast one.
Message the podcast one. Yeah, because I'm pretty happy with the my tab situation. I'm not, but I know you're always searching for stuff and trying stuff and wanting to play around. So that, and then other
than that, man, I think that's it.
All right.
Well, we'll holler at you later.
See you.